but I'm also trying to make sure nobody else are causing problems. And people, like, you just got some people, and you meet them, you just know they're by the book.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
And we had one of those, actually the guy, so I ended up not winning Soldier Leader of the Cycle at basic because he ended up getting it at the board, right? And then him and I both were MPs, so we went to AIT together.
Okay.
Like, man, I can't come second twice.
Yeah.
So I'm keeping my head down though, because I'm like, man, at base, I did everything, like everything you could possibly think of, I was doing. So I'm like, all right, man, at AIT, I'm gonna just keep my head down. I'm gonna do what I do. Like, I'm not gonna keep from trying. Like, I'm still gonna try.
Right.
But I'm not gonna like be as vocal, put myself out there. And let's see. So I still ended up with the highest GPA, ended up being the distinguished honor graduate. We had one Marine in between him and I, shockingly, and then he was number 2 as far as the Army side goes. And I'm like, man, like I couldn't come in second there again. But he was one of those guys, anybody will tell you, he was just by the book. He knew the answer. He would recite it to you word from whatever line and paragraph it was in the doctrine.
Man.
And it was cool because what you saw was a juxtaposition of leadership styles, right? Because from him, what you got, and we see this in relationships, and that's why I'm bringing this up. Let me talk about some things that civilians can understand and relate to, you know? So this happens in relationships, but I'm going to give it to you from this point of view that I dealt with Army-wise, right? So he was the Bay leader, and then you had different platoon leaders, people in the role of a platoon sergeant, right? That you're imitating so that we can lead the troops, get used to it if they feel like you have that potential. All right.
Yeah.
So once he became the platoon sergeant for his group, they removed the Bay leader responsibility from him. Okay. Now their platoon, even though I liked my platoon more, they had one thing right to me. And that was you did not lose your leadership position unless you did something wrong. Yeah. So you could be the PG the entire term if you didn't mess up.
Yeah.
Whereas mine, and I understand why my senior drill sergeant did it. He would rotate every 3 or 4 days, every week. He would find a reason to swap you out, even if you didn't necessarily do anything wrong.
Right.
And that was to give everybody a shot at leadership.
Yeah.
So that he could see how you performed and help shape you and grow you. And so from that point of view, I get it because you're developing more soldiers. And then when we get to Soldier Leader of the Cycle, which he nominated me, and of course, so I go to the board and everything, and I felt a little more vindicated because not everybody, but a lot of people had a chance to be the leader.
Yeah.
And he still chose me, right? Yeah. So that made me feel dope. But on the other hand, I didn't get fired. Why are you taking my job?
Right.
So I was kind of torn in that. So when he got, so long story short, once he got moved there, they're like, okay, well, we can't have you in charge on both sides. Like, we got to give somebody, you know, so since you're now the PG, she went up and we were in their bay. So that wasn't our bay. Our bay was the female bay.
Right.
First platoon. So all the females were in there. So we had to get split up. Half of our platoon was with 3rd platoon. Half of our platoon was with 4th platoon.
Right.
So I'm on the side that's with 4th platoon. She comes up and they're like, who should be the bay leader? Everybody in the room points to me.
Okay.
Right. So they end up making me the bay leader. And I ended up stepping in and taking that position that he originally had. But the difference was he knew everything, but nobody trusted him because they felt like he would turn around and
he wasn't going to be that good battle buddy to back you up in a time of need.
Right.
Yeah.
More like a snitch than somebody who's going to have your back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Especially, you know, that's for combat role units. You know, it's like a must, man. We gotta be able to have that trust there to build up. Just like you're saying, you're gonna end up trauma bonding and going through something.
Facts.
And especially for MPs, you know, for a lot of these guys coming in, they're not getting deployed, so they haven't experienced that yet.
Yeah.
That role in combat, to where you're gonna fill the needs of the Army if the upper ranks have already got that position to fill the actual MP slots.
Right.
So now what's going to happen to you is you're going to be the needs of the Army and you're going to get attached to some line unit. And you're going to be out there with
exactly what happened.
This pretty face.
And they say P doesn't stand for military police. It stands for multi-purpose. That's what they say out of court. Because they're throwing you out there with the scouts. They're throwing you out there with cavalry. They're throwing you out there. Man, I've seen some guys go artillery. Like you said, a lot of guys end up down there with the line.
Yeah, you be in there with 11 Bravo. We 11 bang bang now.
Because you got to be able to clear rooms, clear buildings, clear villages. You got to be able to intake. And so that's how I ended up, man. And like I said, I think we talked about this personally. I've been in such a Joseph position, right? Where, and interestingly enough, people don't realize there's an urban context, an urban spin you can put on everything in the Bible.
Right.
And so I put a video up where I talk about Joseph, but in a modern context.
Okay.
Right. I talk about the different baby mamas. I talk about the different situations that they had family-wise, where one sister was raped and two brothers went and wiped out an entire group of people.
Yeah, I believe.
Right. And I understand that, being as somebody who, like, we lost my sister to domestic violence. Right. And most people don't know. I told my sister beforehand. I told her on the phone. Right. And I don't mind saying this, because this is 1000% true. I stood on this then, I stand on this now, and I don't care who hears it, because this is how I felt and how I feel. All right. I would rather be in prison for the rest of my life and she be alive than she be dead and I did nothing about it.
Yeah.
Right. And that's if they catch me.
Right. Yeah. Boy, we trying. You ain't gonna get too far.
Exactly. Right. So, and I'm not vindicating murder. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm not saying go out here and do it. Right. But I asked her, I'm like, listen, let me do what I do. And she begged me not to remove him. And I'm like, listen, if you know you're my sister, I love you. You know, if this is your life, so I can't infringe on your life. But I'm telling you, it will be better if you let me make him disappear.
Right.
Then for you to not be here because you don't want to listen. And look at where we are now, right?
Right.
You know, and there are so many lives and people, and I'm very thankful for those who have reached out and said, man, like, I got out of this relationship because I saw what happened to your sister. And I knew, because it was somebody that I knew, that it was real. Like, I need to get out of my situation. This isn't, I saw this on the news, and this isn't like this happened 1,000 miles away. Like, this is somebody here, and this is affecting a real family, and it showed me like it can escalate.
Yeah.
And that got people out. So I'm so thankful for the people who are still alive because of it. But at the end of the day, I'm not trading my sister for nothing or nobody.
Yeah. No.
Like,
right.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's just what it was and how it is. And so we have to be at that point where we're able to communicate with people what our boundaries are. And that's what I did. I said, hey, this is where I stand. And she said, this is where I stand. And I respected that. I don't like the way it played out.
Right.
But I was willing to respect how that, you know, went. And I mean, I got to live with it, you know, and people think it's so I know I haven't shared a ton of, we talk about real stories. So I'm going to talk about a couple things. I just texted this to somebody earlier. Right. And I feel like as leaders, as pastors, being in a pastoral care role that I'm in, right, a lot of times we hide the scars.
Yeah.
Right. We're not as transparent as we should be because people will look at us as less than perfect.
Right.
Right. But what I've come to realize is when you're viewed as that person, that pastor who's perfect, you got everything together, people don't share their problems with you. They hide their problems from you.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to expose. Exactly. So what I've learned is the more open and honest I've been, the more relatable I've been, the more scars that I show people, the more honest they're willing to be with me and more open they're willing to be with me.
Yeah.
But man, so I went through a divorce. I went through finding out my kid wasn't my kid. I went through losing my great grandmother, and I went through my sister being killed on about 8 months.
God bless.
Yeah.
That's a long 8 months,
bro. And when I tell you all the things I went through, from, there was a period where I didn't get off the couch 2.5, 3 weeks. Ah, dang, I fractured my L3 vertebrae.
I remember you telling me that.
In the middle. So that was also in the 8 month span though. So I literally came off of USA Nationals, depression, going out to New Mexico, fracturing my back. And I legit didn't do nothing for 4 weeks, bro. Like, I couldn't train anybody. I couldn't lift. I couldn't walk. I couldn't go out. I couldn't, bro. I sat on the couch. Half from depression, using the fracturing of my back as an excuse. And then half from the actual, like, man, when that happened, I literally could only lay on my side with my knees curled. That was the only position I could sit in without pain. Like, legit, I couldn't sit straight. I had to extend my hotel and my flight to be able to make it back home because I couldn't sit up on the plane to fly home.
Bro, yeah. All the takeoff had to be horrible.
My goodness, man. So, I mean, thankfully I had the money to do so. Yeah. Because I'd have been out on the street in New Mexico, bro.
Dude.
With nowhere to go.
For
just
real.
sitting there hurting because, my insurance didn't reach out there. So I had really great insurance. Yeah, for Ohio.
Yeah. For Ohio.
But not the other side of the country.
God.
So, man. Yeah, that whole situation was crazy. So I'm sitting there, man, and I'm just trying to figure out where to go in life, what to do, drinking like crazy, because what else am I going to do when I'm sitting there on the couch?
Right.
And just...
How old was he?
23, 24 maybe.
Yeah, that's
somewhere in that ballpark.
Still pretty young, still fresh. Just
facts. Yeah, 22. I was 22 to be exact. Yep. So just barely up drinking anything. I literally just hit 21 a year ago.
Bro,
right?
You get into that cycle and it just kind of holds you there, bro.
Yeah, literally.
You know? And especially having to go through it all.
Man.
It's like, that's a lot, bro.
Man. Yeah. And then I'm such like the private type, and this is where emotional availability comes in clutch, bro, because the only person who knows everything about me or everything that's going on in my day to day usually is my partner, right? If I have one at that point in time. So like I'm not hiding anything. I just don't talk to people. Like, you know, my family would know bits and pieces and like I'm in and out and this and that. But like, I just kind of do what I do and keep to myself.
Yeah.
So it's not that I don't like people or have a problem or don't care. It's just how I've always been. But I've learned like, even with that being my nature, I have to come up with some way somehow to be open with people and to let people in. And to have levels of emotional availability and to kind of be able to talk about what's going on, how I got there, why, and just be able to vent, even if it's just venting, you know? And that's so hard for people because we're like, people don't want to deal with, and whether it's my sister. And in college, this is probably the tougher one. In college, in terms of opening up, I dated somebody my freshman year, started dating in the fall. She passed away January 31st of our second semester, still freshman year. I didn't show up to class from February 1st to after Easter. I don't remember when Easter was that year, but from February 1st to Easter, I didn't show up to a single class.
Wow.
I would wake up at like 1 in the afternoon, right before lunch closed. I would run over to the food hall, the dining hall. I would snag food, try not to bump into anybody, like nobody's in line, so right about to close. My homie worked in there. He would set a couple plates to the side to me.
Okay.
Run in, grab those, dip back, go back, eat those food, and just kind of stare at the wall in the dorm. Not even in my own dorm room. One of my homies had a single room. I would stay in his room. I basically lived in his room and would just stare at the walls all day, eat that, whatever. Hit the gym like 5, 6 in the evening.
Right.
I'd be in the gym from 5, 6 in the evening to like midnight.
That's easy to do though.
Man, I ain't got nothing else to do. I'm not going to class anyway. I ain't got nothing, you know. Do that, come back, shower. He would sit and watch TV. I was just sitting on the top bunk, zoned out. Couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
I've never been able to sleep. And most of my family's like that. Like all of us boys, we all stay up super late. Can't go to, that's just how we are. I've done everything from caffeine detoxes, no light after 8 p.m.
Did anybody tell you that Uncle Sam don't make it any better?
That it was perfect for the army, man. Like, man, fire guard, give me the first 3 shifts. Give me all the cough drops you got. I'm taking the first 3 shifts, you know, and no problem, 'cause I'm not going to sleep anyway. So I'm going to sit here and I would stretch, read my Bible, pray, whatever I had to do. I would clean a little bit. I would go clean the bathrooms, whatever, man, 'cause I'm up regardless.
Yeah.
So yeah, I used to, man, pay me however you got to pay me, you know. I was well set and basic, but yeah, so similar thing. And then finally go to sleep 4, 5, 6 in the morning, stay asleep, wake up again, noon, right before 1, right when they would close, rush. It would take me an hour to get myself to get out of the dorm room to go get the food. Like I would get up at noon and just wouldn't care.
It's just depression.
So the Marine pastor caught me one day, grabbed me by the arm. He said, "What do you need to be better?" I hit him with that BS response. You know, I'm going to think about it. I'm going to pray on it. I'm going to get back to you. I tried to walk away. He snatched me up so quick. He pulled me back over. He said, "Nah, before you walk away, before I let you go, what is it that I need to do? Tell me right now. Sit here and think about it. And I will stand here until you figure it out. What do I need to do for you to be better?
Yeah.
And I said, man, all right. So I took a step back. I mean, I guess I'll do some counseling. You know, like, I don't know what to do, like, but I ain't got the money for it. He was like, cool, I had a church pay for it. You know, I'm gonna set it up. You ain't showing up anyways to class or work. So I'm gonna set it when I set it and you show up. You know, you ain't doing nothing else.
Right.
Showed up to that session, man. It was just the fact that somebody was like, nah, you ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. Until Randy Savage
right out. until you tell me what it is that you need, I'm not letting you go. You know what I mean? And from there, man, just the fact that was really when I knew. So I knew as a little kid I would end up in the Army because I always saw myself leading soldiers. And that's the battle I'm having now between I'm putting the work in to go officer because that's what I always saw myself as a kid. But being on the other side of actually being with the troops and like leading them, I'm like, man, like this kind of where I want to be. But, you know, I got to do what I got to do. I do what God calls me to. So that's what I saw. And that's where I know God wants me. Then that's what I got to do. But from then I kind of let it pass me by because coming out of high school, I didn't feel God calling me to join the Army yet. Like that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to go to Norwich University. I was ready. Thought I was going to become an officer right then. Like this is what I'm going to do. And just, God was like, nah. I'm like, what you mean, God? You don't like, I grew up looking forward to this. Yeah. Like I said, nah, you gonna force it?
Right.
That's how you end up dead somewhere.
Boy.
So I'm like, so you could be doing the right thing the wrong way.
Wrong time.
And end up dead in a ditch somewhere because I want to go play soldier before God told me I'm ready. But man, everything that I had learned from 17 to 23, 24, you know what I mean, before going in, that developed who I am as a leader without certain aspects of the toxicity of how the Army teaches you how to do it or just certain doctrine and ways or things of, you know, how you do things.
Right.
And I've learned, and this is, I know I said I was going to talk about how to help you guys out, relationships and everything else. Leadership is influence, right? You put leadership in one other word to define it. It is influence. So whether you're in a relationship and you're trying to figure out how to make things work for a family, whether you're on your job and trying to figure out the best way to make things work for everybody on the job, whether you're in the Army and you're trying to make things the best way for your soldiers, right? People do things for you because of the level of influence that you have over them.
Yeah.
With them. I like with them more than over them, right?
Right.
Because you can be under somebody positionally, yet still influence their direction.
Right.
All right. And a good example of that is my senior year for football, I earned the coach's award. And one thing I didn't realize at that point in time, when he gave the speech for giving me the award, he said, this is the first time in my career, and I've been coaching a long time, that I've come and asked a student for what to do in a situation or what to do for one of my players. And this is the player I would go to. Yeah. Right. So as a senior in high school, somebody who had been coaching for 2 decades, knew when and who to ask in terms of, so what does that mean? That means that how you describe that in one word is influence, right?
Yeah.
And that's what allowed him to be able to reach a couple of the guys that we had who weren't doing so hot on the academic side, but had such promising futures on the athletic side. And it's like, man, like you're about to blow it.
Yeah.
And I need you to not blow it, but how do I reach you?
And that's scary as a mentor, bro. So you see so much potential just living right on the line.
Man.
Yeah, that's
and just and you start to blame yourself, you know, for things going wrong. I mean, there's certain relationships that I blame myself for. Like, I had this conversation with my brother recently, man. Like, I dated somebody, and I can, in all honesty, say there was nothing wrong with her.
Oh, okay.
The reason it didn't work out, because I'm not with her today, was because of me.
Hey, you know what? That's solid. You can admit that.
Yeah, facts. And that's what a lot of people had said as I was explaining, oh, yeah, what happened to so-and-so? And I got to tell them, like, look, man, I didn't handle my business correctly. I didn't go about it the way I should have. Right now, I didn't have ill intent. I didn't cheat on her. You know what I mean? I didn't do any of the big things that will cause. But I did not play my cards right and making sure she had everything she needed and communicating the way I needed to for what she expressed to me.
Right.
And that's on me.
Yeah.
And I can't blame anybody else for that. But I feel like a lot of times, man, the the men that we have nowadays in relationships are so quick to say, you're not giving me this. You're not showing up for that. Know what I mean? You always got a headache, so I ain't getting what I need, so I'm getting it elsewhere. I'm talking to other people, right? And really, man, you got to deal with your trauma, your issues, your lack thereof, your inability to show up for her, your laziness and not giving her what she needs. All of the above. And man, don't have no kids.
Bro.
We just talking about her before you get to the kids.
Yeah.
Like, and people don't realize how much effort it takes.
You know, I was reading something the other day, and I'm going to make a little reel on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it fits in for really good for this part, what we're talking about. And that is forgiveness is a detox for a relationship.
Man.
Forgiveness is a detox for a relationship.
Whew. It is.
That could be forgiveness that you never gave as a kid, that you're still bitter at your parents for, that's now flowing over into your relationship.
Yeah.
You know, or forgiveness that even if you're a male, that you was offended by your partner.
Yeah.
You know, that's going to be a detox if you're wondering why it's so bitter in your relationship.
Yeah.
And look into that forgiveness, bro.
Man. So, and I've had to have this conversation recently with my whole situation, raising a kid that wasn't mine, you know. The issue was we weren't together on the actual date of conception, right?
Yeah.
So, because when I say that, a lot of people assume that she cheated on me, which wasn't the case. All right. So the issue was when we did get back together, she wasn't honest. And there were so many things that she wasn't honest about over the next weeks, months, turned into a year and a half, that by the time I found everything out, it caused such a deep level of trust issues.
Yeah.
Because, man, when I tell you, like, from where she lived, car she drove, age, all of the above was a lie.
Oh, my
like,
God.
Literally.
Wasn't expecting that.
Bro, so when I tell you, like, nowadays, it is so extremely difficult for me to, like, but I've come to the point where I can at least say, hey, look, this is not you.
Yeah.
Okay? In current attempts at relationship, this is not you.
Right.
I understand that this is me and my issue because of my past.
Yeah.
I need a little bit of space to process this, right?
Right.
And I'm trying to be open with you and helping you to see and understand where I'm at and where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
And this is why, all right? Now, look, you're not forced to deal with that. And I think that's because men nowadays are so, whether it's afraid of being alone or guys are so stuck on getting what they feel like they need, that they don't have the discipline to leave somebody alone that they should leave alone, right?
Yeah.
That they sit here and manipulate and try to talk to somebody and hold her. You have no intentions on being in a relationship with her, right?
Yeah.
But you keep using her until you find the person you actually want to be with, you know? We gonna do a whole thing on that one. But, and I say, look, you're not stuck with me. So if you are willing to be present, because I've been to therapy, you know, I've been to therapy on the secular side, as in with non-Christian therapists.
Yeah.
I've been to therapy with Christian therapists. I sit and pray. I put in all the work that I can do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've made the progress that I can make outside of a relationship. But until your nervous system, your mind, your brain is put back into certain situations that you were put in.
Right.
And then shown that you are safe in those situations, that's the only way to get to that level of healing that you need.
Right.
In those particular elements of a relationship.
Yeah.
I try to be as upfront as possible with that. I was like, look, if you're willing to stick around and make sure, you know what I mean?
We can work through this.
Exactly. And what I'm going to give you is a level of honesty and transparency. I'm not going to hold things against you that are not because of you, but I need you still at the same time to hold space for the areas and the moments where I'm working through aspects of being able to trust, because I took care of a kid for a year and a half that wasn't mine.
Man.
You know? On top of everything else that was lied about along the way.
Yeah, dude.
And those things get driven into your nervous system when that's your everyday, at the same time as shaping what your life is going to be as a young adult.
Yeah, having an impeccable mind.
Yeah.
Your thoughts is tough, bro.
Facts.
It takes more than work.
Yeah. I know we're going to talk about that on the Daily Chop. Listen, if you are not tuned into the Daily Chop, you need to be. All right. And that's where we talk about real life as well. But I feel like that one, I mean, we have so much more humor on that side.
Yeah.
I feel like on this side, like we can be pretty heavy, pretty direct, you know, and that's because I just feel like somebody needs to punch men in the face and wake them up. But on Daily Chop side, man, I feel like there's so much more like raw openness, humor.
Yeah.
I feel like it's probably a little bit closer to what people want. Like, I know I go against the grain a lot.
Yeah.
And then that leaves you as the oddball, leaves you kind of as the odd man out. And
right.
you got to find your tribe, you know. And on the Daily Chop, like, everything is still relatable, it's still real, you know. But I feel like there's so many elements and topics that you touch on that we don't get to in Classic Man, you know.
Yeah.
That can really help people in where they are, really help reform their thinking, reshape their brains, their minds. And so we're going to make sure that all of the links, you're able to get to them and connect with the Daily Chop. And man, you've seen like actually a lot of success with the Daily Chop. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about how that process has gone.
I did it just to get practice, you know, being in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And God took it a whole nother direction. I started the Daily Chop at the beginning of the year, maybe springtime, beginning of the year. When that happened, I started using more of what God was showing me to use and kind of just talking about every struggle that we go through in life that I've hit on. And man, it's really just been a blessing. I've had the opportunity to talk to some really powerful people that have testimonies. You know, last night we did one that we're getting ready to release with Ruben Perez, which was just God, he's got such a powerful testimony from growing up to having open heart surgery. Yeah, open what do you say? A golf-sized hole in his heart.
That was insane.
And then he lost his mom. His uncle took care of him and his 6 siblings.
6 kids. I ain't taking nobody's 6 kids,
bro. Then he lost twins. I mean, he just has a powerful testimony. That's kind of what we've been doing is trying to really help people find a way in the struggle that they can relate to with other people in a daily life. Like, man, I'm going through the same thing. What did you use to kind of connect, or you know, just things that we use every day in life that we don't talk about enough?
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And we kind of talked earlier. I feel like so many people nowadays in content creation and podcasts, they use so many buzzwords, so many things that get your attention, clickbait, if you will.
Yeah.
But man, what Ruben came in with yesterday was pure substance, man. Like, you're talking about somebody who was a felon, right? Who went through time in juvie and then was tried as an adult, married at 18.
Man.
Had to have a pacemaker in his... Yes, bro. Man. And then still turned his life around, has his own business.
Successful.
Man, you know, so I love Kelly Muscle and CT Fletcher. Those are some of my guys in the powerlifting and bodybuilding world. And one of the things that CT Fletcher says, he has some motivational albums. He says, man, you're going to let a felon out success you? Hurt you?
Right. Hey.
Like, he's like, what's your excuse? Right? Exactly. He's like, man, I'm putting in the work. I'm grinding. How are you letting what society says is the bottom of the bottom put in more work and come out being more successful than you? Like, what's your excuse? Like, what are you doing? Where are you going? And so I feel like there are so many people who have dreams, who have desires, and they never turn into plans. It never turns into actions. It never turns into a different life. And man, if we can help be a part of that journey,
amen,
of turning those dreams into something tangible,
bro, all you got to do is imagine.
Facts. And I mean, we're literally part of it. Like, we're going through the process ourselves. Right. So we're not even telling you something that we haven't been through, you know, but at the same time, it takes such a level of discipline. Like, I have, when I go to train people, right? Because nowadays, people think I just accept any and all clients.
Yeah.
And that's not the case.
Right.
Right? I take people who are serious. So look, show up to the gym for a week. Just get on the cardio machine. Just send me a picture of you on the treadmill for 30 minutes every day for a week.
Yeah.
You send me that, I'll rock with you.
There you go.
But if you can't even show up.
Right.
Nah, I work with people who they've been putting in work, athletes who want to take their sports to the next level, fighters especially. I love fighters, man, because fighters just got that dog
in, bro.
Exactly. Like, they want to win.
Yeah.
And it's 1v1. So if you don't put in that work, You going to sleep.
That's going to be better.
Exactly. You're losing.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, and nobody wants to lose. Like, man, losing ain't fun.
Mm-hmm.
And so since losing ain't fun to me, guess what I'm not trying to do? Lose. And so I'm going to have that discipline. I'm going to put that work in. Yeah. And what happens is you come out seeing some success. Look, this is classic, man. We've been vibing. Today went nothing like what the script was supposed to be like. But that means that somebody listening needs to hear this message. Reach out to us if you're ready to get started on changing your life. All right, we got the tools, we got the avenues, the resources, the connections. We're going to make it happen. We want you to link in, do something different with your life, go in a different direction, whatever that looks like for you, man. And that can be your relationship, whether that's with a partner, with your parents, with your kids, any of the above. If you have an experience, we've had it too, or we've helped somebody through it.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure we get you through it as well. And we're building a community, brotherhood of people that you can lean on, that you know will have your back when those times get tough. We're thankful that you're checking in with us. Listen, leave a review, share, like, subscribe, keep up with us so we can continue to do what we do and change other people's lives as well. Thanks for checking us out.
I'm Justin Kashmirchek, founder of the EGT Universe, and it's been a pleasure being here with you on this journey. If you know someone who's starting a business, rebuilding their brand, or just needs a serious digital upgrade, hit me up. I'm at JumpCutKing on Instagram, or head over to egtuniverse.com. That's egtuniverse.com, and drop me a line. Also, show some love to Carter and the crew behind Classic Man. Head over to classicmanpodcast.com for all the guest info, all the official links, and bonus content. Also, chip in. I'm a cup of coffee. Let's be real. If we as men don't show up together, don't band together, we can't grow together. So check back here every week, same time, here on your favorite podcast platform for the most up-to-date content. Don't get caught slipping. Stay connected. We'll see you right here, Classic Man Podcast, next time.